right, thanks for tuning in. For today's video, I got to go out and fish with my son, which I don't get to do enough of these days. But he was in town. It was a Saturday, so we knew it was going to be busy. I wasn't even going to make a video of this, but I did take my cameras. I'm kind of glad I did. Caught him several different ways. We caught a lot of fish. The goal was to put my son on some good fish. You can tell he's my kid because he likes to throw a jig, and you'll see he does pretty well with it. But I caught him several different ways that day, and then towards the end of the video, one of my favorite ways to catch them started working. Every year, about this time of year, something changes. The fish, some of the fish anyway, are starting to become a little more bottom oriented. For the last several weeks, a lot of the fish have been suspended because there's a lot of bait fish on the surface of the water. So we saw some fish schooling, and I went over, caught one immediately, and then the fish kind of, anytime you have schooling fish, there's going to be some fish on the bottom underneath that are picking off the injured bait fish that the upper fish leave behind. But anyway, if you followed my channel at all, you've seen me catch them on just a jig head and a fluke. And I'm pretty excited about it because I love catching them this way. And I caught quite a few this day. So I didn't narrate much, so I'll break in here and there and kind of explain what's going on. But fishing's starting to get good. I can't wait for it to cool down even more. I think this weekend we're supposed to cool down, you know, into the 40s overnight. It's going to really help that water temperature come down. But anyway, stay tuned. All right, so if you follow the channel at all, you know I'm going to start off with the Topwater. Throwing this Pro E-Pop. They're kind of hard to find right now. So if you find them somewhere, I would suggest buying them because I've kind of heard through the grapevine that they're going to be hard to get for a while. But anyway, started off with the Topwater, did pretty good. Ooh, we need to net it? That's a nice one. That's probably 2.5. Mike, Topwater isn't working right. Oh, there he was! Did you see him knock my plug out of the water? Ah, I didn't get him. He still didn't get it. There he is. Right at the boat. Look, it's not a bad fish either. On now. How many times did that fish hit it? I think yours is a little bigger. It was. That's decent. Ooh, there he was. Oh, boy. It's a good one too. Big old largie. Don't fool around and lose him.
A large one?
Yeah. Dang it. It's not a giant, but it's a decent fish.
Guy's going to fish right where you just at.
That's a 2-pound largemouth. Maybe not even that big. Nice fish though. See him? He hit at me. You see him? Oh, God. Got him. I think it's a decent fish too. Whoops, I just hit my camera. Yeah, he's just a short and fat one. I'll take it. And see, it's just on a do-nothing bank. I don't understand it. That's another nice one too.
Pretty good one, yeah. I set the hook on him pretty good.
It's a largie. I thought it was a spot there for a minute. Yeah, it's a nice, you know,
Sharp teeth.
approaching 2 pounds. That's 2 in that same little area. I can't tell, is it a decent one or no?
I think it's deep. Could be wrong.
It's gotta be a largie. Yeah. Ooh, it's a nice one too.
Probably bigger than I should have known.
Yep. That's a nice one. 2-pounder. Boy, you didn't have him hooked very well. Especially you get a little wind like this, either the spinnerbait or the crankbait will catch you a few fish. And I like it because it can, you know, can cover a lot of water. Boy, did that fish jump or what? Is it a good one? Because he's pulling drag.
Yeah, I think you got him hooked funny. I still have big fish today.
Boy, you almost have to have the pliers. Not bad, not bad. All right, now's when the fun starts. I love to catch them on either my bucktail jigs or this jig and fluke. They haven't completely turned on to this yet, but we're getting close to the time when it's really going to start working well. And I'm telling you, this is a great tip. You can see my tail is dyed chartreuse. I get a pen. Zoom makes them. Spike It makes them. It's like a magic marker, you know. And if you dye your tail, it will get you more bites. It works. I'm telling you, it works. I either use chartreuse or I use red. Sometimes I use both. Just depends on the day. You have to experiment. But it's an effective way to catch fish. The reason I'm using this over my bucktail right now is this is longer. They're feeding on herring, which are a little bigger. At some point here in the fall, they're going to start feeding on threadfin shad as well, which tend to be a little smaller. When that happens, that bucktail is going to come into play. I mean, I can catch them right now on the bucktail if I want. I just try to make it as interesting as I can. It really works. I'm telling you, make sure you dye your tail. And for those that are interested, I use a 7-foot rod. It's a 7-foot medium, extra fast. I like a medium when I'm using this jig and fluke, as opposed to a medium heavy. When I'm throwing the bucktail, I use a medium heavy. I like a stiff rod so you can set the hook immediately. But for some reason, I just tend to hook up more when I use a medium with this jig and fluke. They weren't all big, but this is a good indicator for me that the fish are starting to bunch up a little bit. Usually happens that some of the smaller fish start, you know, and then later, within the next few weeks, I'm saying, the bigger fish are going to start bunching up on these points, and this way of catching them is deadly. Anyway, stay tuned.
Really? I thought I was going to be able to lob it right over. Where at?
Way out that way. Straight out that way.
Okay, that way?
To the left a little more, but shouldn't matter.
Did it let it sink?
He hit it as soon as it hit the water. Obviously there's a school of them out there. It's just a squeaker. Oh, there he was. He hit me on the drop, Marshall. There, got him. Oh. I mean, they're not giants, but I'll take them. The old jig and fluke. Ooh, what's that? Oh, there he is.
I'm going to throw the jig and fluke. I got one tied on.
I think this is a better fish. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, a little bit better.
I wonder if I can fish this.
That's the Dinkmeister.
I'm going to try working this like a jig and fluke.
Well, there is brush over here somewhere. I can tell you that much. That was 2 in that area. See, I was out a little deeper when I caught those 2 fish. No.
It's like it's rolling.
Nope. I mean, I wouldn't swear to it.
I get the cat.
Nope.
No, it's not. Oh.
I just don't want to lose him. Hey, now, come on. It's not a bad one there.
I guess you caught them deep is why.
It's a nice chunky 1.5-pounder. Yeah, I caught that fish and phew, I don't know, that might have been 30 feet of water. We're at 36.
On jig and fluke?
Yeah. Little fatty.
I'll spit up some bait. It's floating in the water. That's a pretty big bait fish he spit up there.
The Dingster. Boy, how exciting. The jig and
bait.
fluke is working. My kind of fishing. I think this is a better fish too. Boy, he hammered it too.
Looks like a pretty good one.
Put it on my net.
Huh?
I couldn't get my net out. Yeah, that's not a bad fish. On the old jig and fluke. Man, that's exciting. Fall is here. Look at that one. Nice fish. Man, did he thump it. That makes me happy right there.
Is that up shallow?
Well, we're sitting in 32 feet of water. That drops right off. And I was out a little ways. Geez, we have caught a few.
All right, thanks for watching. It's exciting for me. I love catching them that way. It's a spinning rod and a small jig of some sort. I'm a happy man. I catch a ton of fish this way. Been fishing this way my whole life. Most of those fish that I caught on that jig and fluke were fairly deep. 15 to, I don't know, 28 feet. But thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.